Hey, you like Bloodborne? Remember that time we got the 60 FPS patch on PS4? Oh, right. That never happened. Why? Because Sony. So apparently, Sony is in talks to acquire the From Software owner, Katakawa. Let's talk about it. All right, so this is from VGC. So they're reportedly in talks, and it says they could become part of the Sony family. Reuters is citing two sources familiar with the situation, reports that talks between Sony and Katakawa are ongoing. It says that should the negotiations prove successful, a deal could be made in the coming weeks. So they're not wasting any time here. Okay, they're trying to get this done, and we're gonna get to it. Katakawa Corporation is a Japanese media conglomerate which owns a number of companies specializing in books, manga publishing. Yeah, manga publishing, film production, DVD sales, all that kind of stuff. Of greater interest to game enthusiasts like us, it's they also own a majority share in From Software. So Bloodborne, Sekiro, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all that stuff. Should the acquisition be successful, then they would own From Software, of course. They also own Dwango, a Japanese telecoms media company, which owns developer Spike Chunsoft, most recently responsible for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That game really fell off fast. I guess when you don't take care of your fans, that's what happens. And then earlier this year, they also bought Acquire, the studio recently known for Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 and Mario and Luigi Brothership. So Katakawa's share price shot up overnight as a result of these reports. The stock market's going to do what the stock market's going to do. So here's the thing. I want to tell you first. We're going to say the obvious. The internet hates this. Okay, if you go anywhere on the internet, you're going to see how much people don't like this. All right, and again, you can't blame them. For starters, Sony has had a really crazy track record as of late with horrible leadership decisions. All the way from, look, we never got Bloodborne anything. People have been asking for it for a freaking decade plus. They couldn't even give us a 60 frames patch on the PS4 Pro. People have hacked their PS4s to accommodate 60 FPS, which is great. Tons of videos online if y'all want to check that out. This channel is not endorsing anything like that, so at your own risk, of course. But yeah, Sony's not giving us anything new with Bloodborne forever. Even Miyazaki from FromSoft said we would entertain the idea. I'm paraphrasing, but Sony's in charge. It's up to them. Of other things that Sony has kind of been getting some L's on recently is with Helldivers 2. If y'all remember, they freaking, like, all the momentum that Helldivers 2 had, Sony came in and said, hold my beer, and we're going to screw this up because they basically had this, you had to have a PSN account requirement. And there was all this controversy with that, and then it resulted in tons of countries around the world not even being able to access Helldivers 2 anymore. And they're continuing that practice with most of their games from what I'm seeing online. There's a lot of games that they're saying, hey, if you want to play this on Steam or whatever, like, you have to create a PSN ID or a PSN account or whatever, which, again, most of the internet is not about that. It's kind of it's a ridiculous requirement, so we can get into that all day. But, and then, of course, the most notorious L that they've gotten recently is Concord. What a colossal failure that was from, like, every aspect financially. Concord failed so hard that they shut the studio down and pulled the game from existence in less than 2 weeks of it being launched. And, so obviously Sony is not taking any W's right now, just a bunch of L's. I mean, hell, even Bungie with Destiny 2 has been a complete shit show. Destiny 2 was, a lot of that was on Bungie's side with leadership problems, and now that, now Bungie is, like, fully been taken over by Sony, so we're crossing our fingers that Marathon will make it and actually be good and not be a complete disaster, but that remains to be seen. Of course, I'll be covering Marathon on the channel. And but this here, Sony reportedly trying to acquire FromSoft. I agree with most of the internet that this would be the biggest L ever, and I do not have confidence in Sony in this endeavor. I do not have confidence that they can. A lot of fans are being like, well, they just basically shelved Bloodborne for more, it's been more than 10 years or whatever. What's going to make us believe that they're going to, keep good faith in producing more, and letting FromSoft do what they do best, right? That's another big thing with acquisitions that is kind of scary is, you know, are they going to just acquire them and then say, you know what, you're cooking, keep doing what you're doing? Or are they going to say, well, we want to put our people in this place and we want to have our say so in the marketing and the production of things because we own you? And, that usually creates a lot of chop. Guys, I don't know. This is just this is really unsettling. And look, I got to tell you, it's not very exciting for all these other properties either. Like Dragon Ball fans, like, look, Sparking Zero came out with a bang, but whatever the developers did, I haven't followed it completely, but everything I've seen online says that they just didn't listen to the fans in a lot of ways, and that resulted in a over 90% player drop off. What confidence do Dragon Ball fans have that Sony's going to come in and save the day and do anything better? And look, I know I'm kind of being an anti-Sony kind of person right now, but it's just based off recent trends, right? I would much rather a game studio succeed and games to succeed, but we're talking about a big publisher acquisition. Look, Xbox is not without its own controversies. They went through everything to acquire Activision Blizzard, and while that seems fine for now, it's really, their marketing strategies all over the place over at Xbox. They're talking about they're going to make hardware and still pump hardware, but then they want every piece of hardware that exists to be an Xbox. And then, if they're going to do that, what does that mean for exclusives? Because at the same time, Xbox exclusives are all going to PlayStation and everywhere else too. So Xbox is like really out to lunch with any kind of messaging between, producer and consumer, on like, what is their goal? And like, nobody knows. They're all over the place. So, I guess Nintendo is like the only ones that are, they always stay in their lane. They're always steady and true, and they just they march to the beat of their own drum, right? So maybe, I don't know, maybe everybody needs to take a hit from take some lessons from Nintendo. I don't know. Guys, I'm rambling. Tell me what you think about this. Let me know in the comments, W or an L. Just let me know which way you think about it. I'm worried. And look, I'll try to update you guys if I can on this. The best way is to follow me over on X at the Helmet Fire. And then of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. I'm going to be doing a ton of variety stuff, at least one video a day, maybe not on the weekends, but we'll see. But yeah, this one's concerning. I want to know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Helmet Fire.